Greetings, I am Mischa Toland of Greatness Now. Welcome to our weekly message. The topic for today is forgiving me. It has occurred to me as I look at my own life and think about the many people that I have an opportunity to speak with, that there are those among us who are really struggling with this issue of guilt and shame. We've done some things that we're not necessarily proud of. We've hurt some people that we love. And at the end of the day, it's how do I move on beyond that? Some of us have actually chosen not to move on. We go to bed with the guilt and the shame. We get up with it. We go about the day with it. And we somehow think we don't deserve to let it go and to give ourselves another chance. Well, today I really want to set the record straight. And regardless of whether it was a bad decision or a mistake that you made, I want you to give yourself permission to forgive yourself. Now, if I could for a moment, I want to make the distinction between a mistake and a bad decision. A mistake is you walking down the street and you drop your keys in the gutter. A mistake is you make a left turn up a street and you thought you were going up a two-way street and it's a one-way street. A mistake is perhaps you put a wrong ingredient in a recipe. Those are mistakes. A bad decision is stuff that we know we're doing wrong, yet we choose to do it anyway. So a bad decision might be you take your gas and electric bill and buy some shoes that you know you didn't need. A bad decision is you sleep with someone that you know is not your mate. A bad decision is you get pregnant knowing that you can't even afford a child. Those are bad decisions. Those are things that we know we shouldn't do, but we do anyway. However, whether it's a bad mistake or a huge wrong decision, you can move beyond it. And I need you to move beyond it because the longer you stay stuck in this whole issue of guilt and shame, the less likely you are to have a fulfilling life. And so you say, Mischa, how do I get beyond the guilt and the shame of it? The first thing I want to suggest to you is know that who you were then is not who you are now. I think about my own life, and like many of us, as I said on the onset of this message, we've all done some things that we're not proud of. And I could go down the list and keep going down the list. But you know what I did? I made a decision that because what God purposed me to do was bigger than any bad decision or wrong mistake I made in the past, I was going to choose to forgive myself, and I am the better for it. And I get an opportunity to live in the fullness of the life that God created for me because I chose to move beyond the things that I did in my past and accept the new person that I want to be. The second thing you can do to move beyond the guilt and the shame of it is understand that guilt and shame are adversarial ploys to keep you bound and stuck. As my therapist, Dr. Dale, said once as I was teaching a class, he said, God didn't ordain that we be stuck. That statement resonated with me for weeks and for months to come. Some of us think that by not forgiving ourselves and not moving forward, we're doing ourselves a favor. Well, you're really not. You really owe it to yourself to move yourself forward and understand that the adversary is having a good time with your inability to forgive yourself. The final thing I want to leave with you is this. If God can forgive you and wipe the slate clean, why would you not accept his forgiveness? Why would you allow yourself to stay in opposition to that? God is as great as they get. He's the creator of your life. Why would you be in conflict with him and what he wants to do in your life? It's over. You don't have to hold on to it anymore. Whatever it was and whatever you did, you can forgive yourself for it. If in fact there's a person that you hurt, that you feel you owe an apology, you apologize, and again, you move on, because at the end of the day, while you wallow in guilt and shame, you cheat yourself of living a glorious, victorious, fulfilling life. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you next week.